This YouTube video will show you exactly how to find the official website of any lead. So if you have a company name, or you have, for example, an artist name, a band name, you can find their official website with maybe 90% certainty that is the right one, if they have a website at all. So you can just copy this exact step if this is something that you need, and I will walk you through all of it. So first of all, there is a timer. This is exactly how much we need to run it one time, and a little marge as well. The next step is to get, so this is actually one part of a 9 or 10 part system that I call an AI SDR, and this is basically getting the leads based on the first step. So the first step means we have added the leads to a Google Sheet. I call this step 1, fill list. So the list is filled with leads. It is done, and step 2 is not yet done. So if there are 10 steps, for example 4 steps, if these 2 are done, then step 2 is not necessary. Step 1 is done in this case. It will take only the leads that have step 1 complete and step 1 not complete. So this is how you can structure your Google Sheet to actually kind of waterfall, or to let it know exactly which ones need to be entered into a step and which ones are already completed for that step. So if step 2 was done for some leads and is empty for other leads, it will only take the empty leads, or the ones that are not complete for step 2. So this is the filter. This is set up. So we need a Google Sheet. We need to get the rows, meaning we get it and we don't need to send or update a row. And get rows is just all rows that qualify with the filter. We find the document by URL, ID or list, and then you can just select it if you have the right one logged in. If you're logged into the right sheet account, then you can just click in a drop down the right document. Then there are sheets as well, and you can just click from the drop down. In this case, sheet 1 is which we need. Then the filters, as explained before. And if you have a really large data set, you may want, or like if it's 20 megabytes, for example, and it then will become, it will be limited, and it then cannot process too much because they offer unlimited kind of runs, or almost unlimited. So they are chipping out a little bit. Therefore, you cannot do 100 megabytes sheet or CSV list. It will be limited by that. So it may stop the workflow and then you cannot complete the task. So in that case, you might want to specify a range, meaning you want maybe only column A to column V, and maybe there's a full description of the company, which is a lot of text for 5,000, 20,000 leads. All these descriptions makes the CSV 50 megabytes, but if you cut that out, you only take the first 20 or so columns, then it may be 10 megabytes. And so it's just to save data, basically. And this is how you do that. Specify the range on the sheet, you can see it on the Google Sheet itself. And there are other options that we don't need. So that is step 1 of step 1. Then we need to dedupe, just to make sure we don't. It's just to save credits for OpenAI and for Apify, which we'll go over later. This is not too essential, but I like to do it just to dedupe basically. So if there's if multiple leads have the same website, then it's duplicate, and it will remove the second one, the third one, only leave the first one. And just to not let it run for half an hour and maybe an error occurs and then we lose all the progress, I like to split it up into bite-sized chunks of 25, so it gets the whole sheet. It takes only the 25 first ones that are not yet, that haven't yet gone through the step, and it will for now leave the rest as is, and it will go on with the 25. This also takes less than 2.5 minutes, so it will be complete. It is in the Google Sheet. Whatever happens in the next run, this data is safe. You don't have to use OpenAI and spend the time and Apify credits. You don't have to do it all over again. So I like to do it in these bite-sized chunks. The next step is going to Google using a software called Apify. So Apify is basically a software that offers you APIs to do tasks on the internet, like scraping. Basically, scraping is the most important thing that they offer. So you can go to Apify Google Search Scraper. It is one of the scrapers that they have, and you can select Get API and look for this one, and then you can copy endpoint and get your own unique token. You can get the URL and paste it here. In this case, for Google Search, you only need to send a body and set it to JSON. Set it to using JSON. You can also do using fields, but we want to do JSON. And then this is the code that you should select. You can get more pages. You can set this to maybe 10 if you really want to. Basically, if you say search, for example, you can get from the Google Sheet, you have variables. Here you can find variables, and you can set the venue name and maybe where the city. For example, if there are multiple locations, like Mercedes dealer, and then the city, because there are more Mercedes dealers. So in this case, the venue name and venue city. Or if it's just one website, brand name online, you don't really have to do a city. It actually would not make sense. So whatever makes sense to search, to get the right one, that's what you want to put in between the queries. So if you want to specify what it is a concert venue, you can set it as well. And then mainly this is what tells Google, of course, what to look for, the official site. So 5 is enough, I would say. 10 if you want. The first page is, I believe, like 9 or 10. And you can leave this exactly as is. So you can copy this, or you can set it up in Apify and then copy the code that they provide, which is, in this case, this code. Then you can batch. So this will send only 6 at a time, and then every 20,000 milliseconds is basically 20 seconds, then it will send 6 more. So I found that this is helpful because then you don't have the RAM inside of Apify. They provide a certain gigabyte amount of RAM. You won't overload it basically. And yeah, you can just copy this, and this is your Google search node. So then you can search Google for the website. We will use OpenAI or any AI to find the website, because it might send the venue Facebook link or Instagram link or some event website that they are mentioned on, but we only want the official website. So we, instead of thinking critically for ourselves, we let AI think for us really fast. Like I think in 20 seconds, like 1 second per lead. So it's just automated. If you do this at scale, you can save basically a lot of time doing this manually if you would need to. So in that case, this is the prompt. If you want more, you can add it up to 9. 0 is the first search result, organic search result. So this is ignoring the advertisements or all the HTML it gets from Apify. This is the only thing you need, which is the organic search result number 1, 2. So the number is a 1 off, but this is correct, and then you can add more if you want. If you have set 10 search results, you can do this and set it to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then when you run it, you can see here if it's working correctly. So you tell the AI what it is, you tell it what to do, and also exactly how to do it. So it needs to only output the official website of the venue, which is named, and then the venue name. So it knows what to look for. Look only for URLs that look like this. So maybe any relative links, so just a slash and then something else, or any other format than this is not what we need. We only need official website links. So even if there are letters directly before, so in the HTML, it may get a word and then immediately, or a symbol before, so it's not a separate link. Still, it should look for that. If it starts with HTTPS or HTTP, it is a valid link. So we tell it exactly what to do. And if no valid links are found, it will say NA. And in later steps, we can also make sure the link field in Google Sheet will not say NA. So if it says NA, it will input nothing. And if it's a link, it will input the link. So we tell it it's extra important to only output the link. So it should not say, sure, here is the link. We only need the actual link, and it should say nothing else. Because in Google Sheet, if we want to enter the website into a next automation, we don't need the words. We only need the link and nothing else. So that's why we say this. Or just NA if not found. Don't say anything else. So it will get the data and it will output only the link. This is how it's set up. The API is connected. The resource is text, operation, message, and model. GPT-4o Mini is the fastest and cheapest model from GPT. And then it's just a role, user, and a prompt. And that's all you need. And then output as JSON is not required. This is selected. Option random output randomness. Temperature means normally it's 1. It's just very creative, but if you put it lower to 0, exactly 0 is maybe too much in this case, so lower to 0 is more strict. This is very logical, so it has to understand the venue name and compare it by thinking. It's not math, it's not very precise. This is some thinking, some creativity, but not that much. So we want to lower it so we don't get very creative random outputs. It doesn't make its own interpretation of our prompt. It's pretty much reading our prompt for what it actually says and actually doing what it says. So simplify output is on, and that's that step. Then we want to merge those 5. So 25 leads. Only those it will then send to it finds the results, the Google results, which it sends to OpenAI, and then the link will be outputted, and based on, so combine based on position, and there are 2 inputs, and this is on. Option include any unpaired items, just so it runs better that way. If OpenAI doesn't output it, it will still take the unpaired item from Google Sheet. And so the first one will be matched based on the position with the first output of OpenAI. So it will output all 25 at once, then it will again send all 25 to get the Google search result. Then it gets again a list of the same order of 25 OpenAI answers with the link included. And so then the first one of this step will be matched with the first one of the last step, the OpenAI. And then it will add the leads in Google Sheet. So you select the account. It is a sheet that we want to look for. Update means the leads are already present and we just need to update a field. So based on the row, in this case, you can also match based on the email address. So it will then find the email address, and then in that row it will select the right column. It will fill the field that it gets from the last step into that row, into that column of that row. So we want then to set the step find website to done, and actually we want to also add the site here. From the last step, and I will see if I can run it quickly, so just so you can see the steps being run in action. So here's the flow. I've tested it and finalized some steps. This is the workflow. This is going really fast. Sheet is just get data, This is almost instant. Dedupe, this is limit, it's just in native end nodes that are just really quick. This is now sending data. It has sent data to Apify, and I've set a note here as well. It takes about 4 seconds, so 100 seconds to get all 25 leads back. So while that's running, it is simply a matter of waiting, and I'll update you when it's done. So it is now completed after almost 2 minutes. Now it's doing the AI thing. This is a lot faster. And then it will combine this result, so 25 links or 25 lines, something NA, with the original leads. So it then can connect, oh, this URL is with this company or with this row from the Google Sheet. And it has completed. So let's see. It has received all the fields, many of which it doesn't need. It has deduped whatever it has received. From those deduped, it has left only 25 items. So an item is just one row, which is this, and then the array is the whole thing, the whole set of rows, and then this is one row, and then it has 25 of these things. Then it has received the results. This is a lot of data and then only a few things. So at least status code, this is something you can see already. Status code 200 means success. 201, 2 and 3, also something like success. If it's 400, for example, or 401, then it has failed. So that's not good. So 200 is good. It has succeeded. So here's the flow run one more time and just completed. I've adjusted the reference, the actual company name here in the query instead of the venue name. It was from another client, and also adjusted the referencing here. So from the limit 25, only the first 25 of the qualified rows that qualify that have the criteria that we set, only those 25. From that node, it referenced the company name. So the column in each row with the company name, and as you can see here is AF Wendling is the company. It gets all the search results. These are the organic search results, and there are some, of course, not relevant ones in there, and most of the time it's just the first search result, but we want to use AI to be sure, so that all next steps actually use the actual company website. So here actually the first 4 are the website, and then only the first one is just the homepage basically. And as you can see, so this is just one item, this example. You can see here the results for the next one. And so AF Wendling is what it found as the website. For the second, you can see Ace and Dico is what it found as well. Here it's ADL is basically the short name for the website, for the company, and it recognized that this is the website. So these are 25 results. The only thing that we will use in the next step is the content, which is the content of the response. So AI responded to us without any words, just with the link. So here can also be a line. Sure, I found the website, here it is, but we have told it clearly to not do it and just send us the link. It just needs to output, here is what we said, or the link or NA if nothing is found. So we can see maybe if there is an NA, yeah, here for example. So it found almost all the websites and then only one not applicable. And then later we can just exclude the NA and we will have 95% of the websites found. Actually, yeah, 24 websites of the 25 company names. So if you have a company name, this is how you get the website. Here you can see it has merged the first rows. So this is everything from the sheet, and then it has added this, the message from ChatGPT. This is how it outputs it, and then we can reference content to get the link. So here you can see I've updated this as well. So based on the row number, so in Google Sheet, maybe row number 3 is the first, or for example, yeah, row number 3. It now also has a website in the field. It is just not yet into Google Sheet updated. And based on the number, it will find the correct column. So row 3, it will look in row 3, and then it will add in that same row in Google Sheets, it will add the word done. In step 2, find website is what the column is named. So we know the next time this automation knows, it only looks for step 2 is empty, so not yet done. So it will not repeat the same items again and again. And then actually referencing this, the message.content means inside of message there are also a few more. We call it nested items. And so you can also just drag and drop, and you can see this is how you reference the AI answer. And this is now sent output to the Google Sheet list. And so it is now updated. Here you can see step 2 is filled with done, and the website is added here and here. And actually I've run this before. Here are a few more websites. So that's it. If you want from a company name to find the official website, this is how you do it. And I'll leave the copy of the prompt and maybe a link to the automation inside of the description. So please feel free to check it out, and until next week, bye.